guys, it's your girl Victoria back again. So right now I'm at the park because I'm pretty sure my boyfriend is cheating on me with my best friend. So we're about to go investigate. So let's go find them. I just want to thank you guys for being here through this experience with me because this is really traumatic for me. Oh my god, I think she's taking a nap. She's laying on the ground. Best friend! Best friend, what are you doing? Oh my god, excuse me, best friend! Why is she sleeping? Oh my goodness, what's a dead person look like? Skylar! I think she's dead. Help me, my best friend! I think she's dead! Anyway, thank you for watching. We're gonna continue this investigation later because I think my best friend is dead.
Guys on that now.
Okay, good. Do we know anything else about the suspect?
White female, mid-late teens.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger Dodger 10-4. We got dead.
We don't have a pulse.
Dead body on the
Time
scene.
of death, 15:02.
Hi, this is Lindsay Bierstaker reporting to you live with CTV News. Earlier today, police officer Skylar Kuipers was found dead by her best friend and famous vlogger, Victoria, with over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Excuse me? Try 1.25 million, okay?
What's your side of the story?
Okay, so originally I came here because my boyfriend's cheating on me, and if you watch my video, Victoria, if you just go on YouTube, anyways, you will see it. And I thought he was cheating on me with my best friend, so I came here and I thought she was sleeping, and now she's dead. Who takes a nap and then is dead? I don't understand.
We're doing this here because the snow was too tall where Skylar was originally dead. So we're just going to demonstrate. We're bagging the hands and feet of the victim to preserve fingerprints and DNA evidence. And then after this, we would wrap her in a body bag, but we don't have one, so this will have to do.
Ow! Okay, Victoria, I need to ask you a couple questions. Can you please put your phone down?
I can't keep watching.
No. Can you please explain to me what happened on January 15th, 2020?
What happened was that I was on my phone and I asked Skylar to hang out, and then she told me she couldn't, so I was really sad. So then I went and asked my boyfriend, and he said he couldn't hang out either, which kind of hurt my feelings. So then I obviously went and Snapmapped them to see what they were doing, and I saw them at the park. And usually my boyfriend doesn't go to the park.
Let's get this back on topic here. How about you?
I'm
skip
trying
the
to
part-
tell you my story. You asked for the story.
Okay, continue.
I was vlogging my experience because I wanted my followers there with me through this like tragic experience.
Let's skip to the part where you.
Okay,
found
so
Skylar.
then I found. Just give me a second. Anyway, so I kept walking and I saw her and I thought she was taking a nap and her eyes didn't open. I'm the like CPR person or whatever, so like I didn't know if she was dead or not. Yeah, she was dead. So like I don't know what else she wants me to say.
Is this what she looked like when you found her?
Oh my god, she actually looks really good in that. Where'd you get that? Did you get that from her Instagram? I haven't seen that one yet. Did you see the one I took of her when she was dead?
I just have a few more questions for you
Of
about
course.
the scene. So you were saying that you saw a man. Do you remember what he looked like or what he was wearing?
Well, he was like kind of tall, but not like you wouldn't like call him tall. But anyways, and like he got into this like ugly car. Like it like had all those like rental stickers on it. Like yeah.
Do you remember what he was wearing?
I think he was like wearing like a jacket and pants.
Okay.
Feel like we're in the car.
Get out of the vehicle. Hands behind your back. Do you have any weapons on you? In the car, let's go.
Yo, can I drive?
No.
Okay.
I know you're innocent, but I'm going to get revenge on the person that arrested you. Skylar, I know they're out celebrating tonight at the bar, so my plan is to drug her and put her in my car and leave her out in the freezing cold. So hopefully she'll be drugged enough that she won't be struggling, and if not, then I'll just have to find something else to do so I can dispose of her.
Are you going to use your own car? That way they can immediately be able to identify you?
No, I'm a criminal, all right? I'm gonna go rent a car.
Good job arresting that guy
Alright,
today.
cheers to
Yeah,
that.
guys, we did a
How are
good
your
job.
kids?
Oh, they're great. How are yours? What happened
Fantastic.
today?
We arrested this guy for murder.
I had to chase them.
Yeah,
Let me tell you,
I
I caught
drove
them
the
pretty
car.
good.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
So you did nothing?
Yeah, I sat in the car and played the sirens for a little bit.
Yeah.
My
You
first
know,
It was really
all the girls
yeah.
do all the
Who
hard
needs a
work.
man, right?
Well, I'm gonna call it in early, so.
Yeah, can I get a whiskey sour, please?
Can I have some ID?
Sure. There you go. I'll be right back.
Excuse me, this was flat. Give me that.
Okay, I'll fix that for you.
Problem.
I'll fix that.
Sip on that. This one better not be flat.
It's not. I checked. There's your drink, ma'am.
Woo! That's a strong one.
Wanted whiskey?
I did. I got it.
I just thought because you caught a murderer, I'd help you out. But
Yeah, but I'd like to be able to stand up by the end of the night. All right. Cheers.
cheers.
Damn, you look like you need a ride home. You want me to ride you home? Oh, let's go.
I can't get out. Help me.
Oh yeah. I got free Wi-Fi in my van. Get in the car.
We're closed. I'm sorry, sir. We're closed.
Buy some questions to ask.
Yes. Will it be long?
Yes. So, do you know anything about the disappearance of the lone called Skylar?
Yeah, she was here just the other night with you and the other weird chick.
Yeah, was there anything like out of the ordinary after we left?
She did complain a lot about the fact that I put too much whiskey in her drink. She seemed a little off at the end of the night, but like this guy offered to drive her home, so like I thought she'd be okay.
What did this guy look like?
He kind of looked like a real creep. Like he had his like hood up and stuff. Like he's never been to my bar before. Glasses.
Did you see them anytime after that?
I saw them drive away in a car,
What kind of car was it?
like a rental car.
Like a rental car?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. Can I lock my car now? Thank you.
Hello, sir. My name is Emily with the local police. I'm a detective.
You guys have smokes?
Nah, sir. Well, how are you anyways today?
Not good anymore.
Do you know anything about the police officer Skylar going missing?
No,
We saw you at the bar. What were you doing there?
I was drinking.
Just drinking? What time did you leave?
It was around 12 o'clock.
It's pretty late.
Yeah, well, I was at a bar
Yeah, I guess.
drinking
When did you get
with
home?
my friends.
You
not
probably
home,
don't have
like
friends. What time did you
12:30.
get home? 12:30?
Yeah, 12:30.
Walk, drive,
Biked.
you biked.
Yeah.
You bike drunk.
Yeah,
How's that?
fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is the bike big enough to fit two people?
No, not usually.
You know, you have a little basket on the front, you throw them in there?
No,
No?
no.
No basket. Are you sure that you can get a ride with anyone?
Yeah, I rode my bike, man. at all
Where do you
times.
live?
Where do I live?
Yeah.
I live in New Hampton.
Alright. You don't care if I sent some offers down there to check the place out?
Some offers?
Some
What
officers?
kind of offers?
Stop playing games.
I ran.
Alright, Rad. Well, you know what?
I did. I'm sick of
Interview's
YouTube.
over.
I'm sick of YouTube.
I'm done.
I have no remorse for my feelings.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is check her heart rate just to make sure that she's dead. Yeah, there's no pulse. I'm gonna take fingerprints. So the first step in performing an autopsy is the external examination. This can help locate evidence and suggest the cause of death. So in this case, the first thing I'm going to do is measure the body. So I already weighed her and recorded it on my laptop. So I'm just going to take measurements. So then after I measure, I am going to note subject's clothing. So from what she's wearing, you can tell that she was out and not at the home at the time of her murder because it's like more fancy clothing. So maybe she was on a date or at the movies or at a bar or something like that. She also has had no valuables on her, indicating a motive could have been robbery. So now I'm going to record her age, eye color, hair color, etc. So her eye color is like a blue green. Her hair color is a brownish, blondish kind of color. She is a white female, age 17. So I'm now going to search for things such as gunpowder residue, scars, tattoos, other injuries. So on this arm here, you can see that there is a bite mark. So we're gonna have to analyze that later to determine whether it was from animal or from a human. So clearly on the forehead here, you can see that there is some blunt force trauma. So as her head was hit off something, so like a desk, something hard, where it caused a huge scar in the head. So that means I'll want to check the brain for sure to see if any stroke or anything occurred, and if that is the cause of death. Hair and nail samples are taken. And then we'll set that aside for analysis later. So nail samples are taken because you can find things. So just say if she had like scratched her perpetrator or whatever, his blood or her blood, I don't know, and skin cells could also be found underneath the nails. So now I'm going to move on to the external examination. So you start off with the Y incision, so you cut down from here and here and down. So now that I have the cut, I'm gonna take out all her organs using the Rokitansky technique, so where all the organs are cut out in one singular block. So then after I do that, I will have my assistant weigh and examine each organ in detail. So all of them, especially the brain, will be placed in formalin for days to weeks before a dissection is conducted. So then tissue samples and bodily fluids such as urine, blood, vitreous gel from the eyes, and bile from the gallbladder will also be taken to check for drugs, infection, or genetic factors. And then we'll have to wait a few days to test the organs and fluid samples. So after cutting open the brain, I have determined that the cause of death is due to a stroke, so most likely from the blunt force trauma that we saw to the head on the forehead. And then there was also a significant amount of drugs in the body, although there was not enough to kill her. If there was a little more, maybe enough to kill her, but in this case it was the blunt force trauma that was the cause of death. So the first step in analyzing a bite mark is to take pictures. So you want to make sure to take pictures with both a ruler or something to measure the bite mark with, as well as just without one. So we're going to start without. We're going to take some pictures, and then we're going to add the ruler to compare with. Next, we will take DNA evidence because that can also help us decide whether it is a human or animal bite mark. So why we are also considering animal is because the victim was found outside in a wooded area where lots of animals are known to be found. And then put it in here. And then put it in our envelope to take to the lab. Next up, we will take 2 impressions of a human and of animal teeth, and we're just going to also use these and take pictures of them and to compare as well. And we'll have to wait until we get everything back from the lab to figure out for sure whether the bite mark was from an animal or from a human. So I've just gotten back from the lab with the results from the bite marks, and so I have determined that it has come from an animal and not from a human because of the DNA found as well as the shape of the bite mark and what it looked like. So it most likely have come from an animal like a coyote or wolf or something, as the victim was found in the woods. We already scanned the grid near the body, now we just gotta do it more over on this side.
Okay guys, so this is going to be a follow-up video for my vlog. Look at them scanning. Anyway, Skylar, I just wanted to give you a good tribute. So like, I just want to get a selfie with you, like, when you're dead. So you'll smile.
Take pictures of it.
Bye, Skylar. Oh, she's rolling. Okay.
Do you get the pictures? Okay.
Feel it all?
Perfect. Let's go find some more evidence.
right thumb, please?
No, you can't.
Okay, well.
Ow! Ah! Ow! Stop it. Ow! God.
Okay, give me your other hand now.
What? That's
Your
only
hand.
that's only 3. Oh, that one's on the line, detective.
Detective, I think my fingerprint's gonna go on there no matter how hard you push. Look at that
Okay,
black
now
blob.
can I use your other hand?
Oh boy. This is my right. I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to give evidence against myself.
What if you murdered her?
I didn't. I was just a bartender.
Whoa, you don't know
Ouch.
that.
I know that. I lived my life.
Hi, hope you don't mind. I'm just gonna vlog this, cause you know
I'm honored to
I like
meet
have to
her.
have my fans with me
Okay, I'll do your
24/7.
right hand first.
Did you wash your hands?
Yeah, I did. Twice.
Doesn't smell like it.
Right here on the bottom.
Ew, it made my hand all gross. This is taking forever. It's not interesting. Can we like zazz it up for like my fans here? Thought this would be more exciting, or like CIS or something, you know, like cool. Oh my god, that one looks like a butterfly. No.
Perfect. Can I have your other hand now?
I guess. Why don't you just take a picture like a normal 21st century millennial?
Perfect. Thank you. You can leave. Okay, so these are the fingerprints that we collected. We have our 3 suspects and then the deceased. So the fingerprints on the card that we found at the scene have loops in it, and Victoria's fingerprints don't have loops in it, so we eliminated her as a suspect. And I already had Detective Evan double check my work, so now we're gonna see if it was Robbie or the bartender who did it.
By the victim over there. We're now going to look for evidence in the driveway where suspect 1, Victoria's car, was parked in her vlog.
So if the perpetrator is driving a car, this looks like where they would have came in because everything else is just parked. So we're going to try to find more than just one set of tire tracks.
We can match them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. It looks like we have some good tracks over here. Let's take pictures.
Let's take some pictures of them. Come and plaster cast these later.
Hello, this is the police.
Hello, this is Kyle from Rent-A-Car. We just got a very suspicious vehicle that I think you guys should know about.
Okay, could you give me the license plate, please?
ABCZ809.
Okay, perfect. And could you describe the outside of the vehicle, please?
It's a blue Chevrolet Impala, and it was very dirty, as though the car had been in a forest or something dirty area.
Okay, and could you describe the inside as well?
There was blood on the passenger side dash, and it was very dirty too, as in like they brought dirty boots or dirty clothes or something dirty inside.
Okay, perfect. Are there any other details I should know about, like a headlight out or something?
Yeah. Front headlights out.
Okay, perfect. Don't touch anything and we'll be on our way to check it out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carl, the one you spoke to on the phone.
Hi, nice to meet you. What do we got here?
So this is the car that we got brought in. You can see all the dirt along the side, and then there's also dirt on the other side of the car, all pretty much all around it. Tires, very dirty, and the inside we got all the blood everywhere. Pretty nasty scene.
Okay, can I have the name and phone number of the person that rented it?
So the name on the sheet was John Smith, and the phone number was 905-555-1234.
Okay, perfect. Are those the keys?
Yeah, I tried not to touch them because I don't know you guys with your fingerprint analysis and whatnot. I watch a lot of crime shows.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, Forensic Files is my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Mhm,
Okay, let me
So,
just go on.
Glad to be a part of this.
Okay, let me take a look in here.
So in order to compare the tire tracks found at the scene to the rental car with all the blood and dirt outside it, we are going to put some fresh snow down on the ground so that we can drive the car over top of it and get some nice prints to take pictures of and compare. As you can see, now we have fresh tire prints to analyze, and now we'll be taking pictures of them and compare. We are now going to use the ruler to take measurements to compare to the ones found at the crime scene. Now that we have all the photos done, we are able to compare. Here we are comparing the tire tracks found at the scene to those taken by the police officers, and we have positively determined that the 2 tracks match from those at the scene and those taken from the rental car. So step 1 in collecting blood scene analysis would be to put on the first pair of gloves. So the first pair of gloves is to write notes or if needed to take a phone call. And in this case, it'll be used to write on the swab box. So on the swab box, you fill out the case number, the date and time of collection, type of sample, and the item number. So after that is done, we put on the second pair of gloves. So that is what we'll use to collect the blood evidence. And we'll get our pre-packaged sterile swabs. So we're using 2 of them. So you need to make sure to grab the end of the swab so that you're not contaminating the part that you're going to rub in the blood. So you collect the swab, you collect the blood in a rolling motion and in one hand, and you get as much as you can on the swab. So you want the tip of the swab fully covered with blood. Now you put the swabs into the swab box. And now the box is put into paper packaging and labeled to be taken to the lab for analysis. I had just come back with the DNA from the blood that we took from the dashboard of the rental car, and we have determined after taking the blood from the autopsy and comparing it that it is Detective Schuyler's blood.
As we found Skylar's blood in the rental car, it's highly likely that she was killed in there, although the name under the rental was John Smith, not Robbie or Tori. So if we can determine who signed the name, we can be for sure who killed Detective Schuyler. So we called in Carl to do some police lineup work to identify the killer.
Who's John Smith?
Okay, which one of these people do you recognize from renting the car?
That one right there was for sure the one who rented the car.
Suspect number 2?
Go. You're under arrest. We're gonna head behind the back.
No, let me put my window up. I don't want to think that.